And we are broadcasting. Yes.
You know what's funny? As soon as you said we're live or we're broadcasting, and then I clicked on an old video of ours, and it came up and says, "Oh, look, we're live." I said that
Let's do a share on this one.
in the video.
Share. Where's the share? I don't want to make a comment. I already changed personas to me.
We're broadcasting, and then
Facebook. Get with the program.
who? Me?
No, I'm just blaming Facebook. Share. There we go. No more sharing with public. And of course, the opening frame. My eyes are closed. That's lovely.
And I'm laughing.
You're kind of staring off into nothing. Podcast? What? Good news, everyone.
There we go.
It's episode 680. We got a few people joining us.
20 more shows, and we're at 700. Well, officially, we've done more than that.
700 numbered shows.
Yeah, I got to go in and filter to look at our list of shows. I've kind of skewed this results a little bit. If you look in our file repository, especially for you, Chuck, there's all the transcriptions I've been adding. Because you can do that for free.
Yeah.
So I started doing it. Now there's like 3 different versions of it. One's like a JSON version. One's
and where do those end up?
Why are I was trying to figure out what to do with them. I thought it was kind of fun at first, but the settings are in Alphonic. They're just all just there. So they've just been doing it. I was just trying to figure out. I haven't had time to come back and look at it. But Evo Terra on his podcast Pontifications, he was talking about using transcriptions. I was like, okay, do a lot of people do that? I wasn't aware of that.
Quite a few.
Yeah, and in what way? So that's what I was curious.
Yeah, some put them right in the lyrics section of the MP3 file.
Mm-hmm.
So you can scroll through. I think we put our show notes in there. So.
You know what else is interesting? One of the web pages that it makes.
Hey, Eric.
One of the web pages it makes, when you pull it up, you can start playing, and you can click on the sentence and start hearing what we said at that time. Spot. I was like, okay, that's pretty cool.
It's like a legal document with the line numbers down the left side.
That's kind of what it is. I have to show you one. I'll send you a link to one. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Hang on, I gotta adjust the cooling down just a little bit.
You can't do it with your phone? Yeah, I haven't shaved yet. I'm considering it, Gary.
Hello, Gary.
Hey, I'm considering shaving because I don't know about you guys. I never think I've seen Gary with a beard, but my skin gets a little irritated right in here.
Mine is right on the chin line.
Yeah, well, right in here gets irritated, and I really have to shave it off and let it, just kind of
heal
up. Yeah. But
that's probably the number one reason why I don't grow a beard. It's just too dang irritating.
Well, last night we were having our reunion, right? And I'll talk about that a little bit later in the Patreon show. But before we went, I was like, I'm not shaving this before that because I don't want to go with, my face is a little red. Hey, everybody.
That just happens if I skip a day. I look like I've been through the war. Yeah. All right. Let us begin with the audio recording. I think everybody's shown up who's going to be showing up for the live show. So we'll begin in 5, 4, 3, 2. Hold on. The counter isn't counting. Try that again. Oh, I was still recording that call we had earlier.
Oh, you actually recorded it. I didn't realize.
Part of it. Yeah. She said this call may be recorded. I'm like, good idea.
Yeah.
In case there was something humorous. We had a call come in on my phone a few moments before we hit broadcast that said potential spam. I said, oh, let's have some fun. It wasn't fun. It was a survey. It was a political survey. Like going through a whole bunch of candidates. Would you say you strongly support, mildly support? Like, never mind. I got to go to a podcast. You're not being fun. Right. So let us try that again. 5, 4, 3, 2. Technorama episode 680. If I'm being objective, it's Dr. Whom. Hey, welcome to Technorama, the show that takes a lighthearted look at tech, science, sci-fi, and all things geek. If this is your first time joining us, welcome to the show. It's 680. I don't know where you've been, but I'm glad you finally found us. And if you are returning and you've been around for even a portion of that 680, we appreciate you coming back. My name is Chuck Tomasi from sunny Phoenix, Arizona, and joining me right over there is Mr. Craig Stepp. How are you, Craig?
Oh, over here. I'm doing good. How you doing?
All right. Hey, we got to turn off the banner.
Yeah. Why don't you stay on top of that? You know, you always,
because I'm busy doing the intro. You're supposed to go, oh, I hear music. I'll turn it off.
I got it.
You got it? Good. Okay.
Oh, wrong one.
Well done.
No. Which one did you turn on?
I must turn on one of the pictures there.
Yeah. Okay.
I went old school on you.
I know. Well, it didn't look right either. So anyway,
well, who's on brand?
No, I mean, yeah. Anyway,
riveting stuff for the people listening along at home. How have you been, Craig? You had an interesting week. You were dog sitting or something.
Yeah, we're still dog sitting. Helping out a friend. They had a family thing, so we took in a much older dog. His name's Memphis. He's been hanging out with us. He's actually doing pretty good. I wasn't, whenever you bring a dog in the house, one that is not familiar with your house, and you have cats, always go, what's going to happen? And he kind of ignores them, just like the rest of my other dogs.
Yeah, the older dogs would do that. Yeah, they'll just say, "Hey, I've been here, seen it all."
Actually, chill. It's funny. Everybody gets now. Some dogs can't stand it, and they will chase a cat. But I understand that. But all the dogs that come in my house, they're all like, "Hey, what's up?" You just walk on by. So, which is good.
All right, we're having an interesting time as Donna recovers from COVID. She tested negative on last Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
She tested positive on Tuesday, and she still tested positive in the last day or two. So I've been sleeping in the studio. We have a regular sized bed. It sounds worse than it actually is. It's as the studio is 2 bedrooms that were middle wall was knocked down, and it's the perfect work-life balance. I got half the room for work and half the
I'm gonna go to work, walk over the
work desk is like right in the middle.
Yeah. Well, I've slept in there before.
That's right.
A couple times, I think, as 2 or 3 times.
It's a little more conducive to guests at this point than it was when you were here last.
Oh, well, I guess so, because you got rid of the desk and everything.
Yep.
And you know what? Sleeping there wasn't so bad. It's just that there's a lot of little LEDs around, like devices. So I turn over and I'm like kind of seeing a little light coming from under the desk.
You never took a nap in the network closet before?
Oh yes, I have actually. When I had our internet service,
right.
My room was this. Well, I was kind of working in the server room, which it wasn't a cooled room or anything like that. It was just a server rack and my desk, and I stayed in there several times. It was much larger than a closet, but it was kind of a small room. And I took a sleeping bag up there because there was a few times I'm like, if I left there, it was 30 minutes home and then get ready for bed. Where I was like, why don't I just take a sleeping bag up there and, some nights hang out, when I
cut out the middleman.
Yeah, it worked out. Although the problem was some of the equipment would get a little warm in there. There was no windows in that room or really good ventilation. And so sometimes it would get a little too warm. But
all right, enough about our domestic lives.
That's right.
Let's get on with the show. We've got some feedback, so play that music.
Right.
Letters, oh, we get letters. We get your letters every day. Mailman, mail today. Reach right in and pull one out. Those letters, I love those letters. Let's find out what you got to say.
Oh boy!
Mailman, mail today.
There we go. Remember when we used to do network shows, where just feedback shows.
Where we had so much. I was looking through our used voicemail folder, and it goes back to 2015. And I may take some sound bites out of there. I don't know who the caller
Yeah.
was, but they said, I love it when Craig makes off-color jokes. Like, there might be some sound bites in there we could use.
I was told by work I cannot make off-color jokes anymore.
All right. We have a voicemail. Thank you very much. One of our few international voicemails.
Hello, this is Fritz from Germany. I'm just about to write you an email and saw the voicemail number on your contact page and decided to give you a short shout out. Have a good time. 101, everybody.
Or as they say in Deutsch, 101. There's a 10.
Well, that's cool. Thank you for calling. I certainly appreciate it.
Yes.
It's not even International Voicemail Month yet.
That's in November.
Yeah, that's in November.
Okay. He's beating the rush.
Yes, right.
Thank you, Fritz. Nice to know we have some friends listening over there as well.
Yeah,
very much appreciated. We also have an email from Kyle that came in a couple of weeks ago, but we missed it. And then we went on vacation, and then we came back and forgot it again. So he wrote in for a couple of responses.
I've actually put in some bits into my my checklist for the show notes, so maybe we're trying to cut down.
They've been at the top of the show for at least a decade. Technorama page on Facebook, Twitter, website comments, check voicemail on Deco. It's like, yeah, whatever. We rapidly ignore that which is repetitive in front of us.
Yeah.
But Kyle said, regarding comfort shows, I don't watch TV anymore, but I play podcasts and audiobooks in the background around the house. My current favorite genre is lit RPG, and I listen to these series when I just need to decompress. Noobtown by Ryan Rimmel, The Completionist Chronicles by Dakota Kraut, and Chaos Seeds by Aileron Kong. Very good. He also writes in, Craig, congrats on getting a quest.
Yes.
I played Vader Immortal when I first got the quest. Those cinematic cute scenes feel much different from the movie, don't they?
No, they weren't cute scenes. They were cut scenes.
Cut scenes. Sorry.
Had Vader in it. There wasn't nothing cute about it.
Yeah, it was like a baby Vader.
That Hello Kitty one.
It's like baby Muppets. They're cuter.
Yeah. Did you finish reading it?
Vader can only get so close to you on the big screen, put you eye to eye with him in VR. Anyway, the way I heard it was that Vader Immortal series is really about the lightsaber dojo, and the storyline was bolted on after the game was built. Oh, that's sad.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that. That's the way it felt. It's like because the story is so short.
Yeah.
I basically finished the story in maybe under an hour or so, for each one. And I played 2 episodes. I haven't finished the third one yet. But the lightsaber dojo is just so much fun. There's been times I just went in and just played that. It was just, I'm throwing the saber, I'm using the force and picking up rocks and throwing it at robots, and you level up. You start getting different color lightsabers as you play.
Wait, you said you were throwing rocks?
That's right.
That doesn't sound very high-tech Star Wars-ish.
What do you think Yoda was doing? Luke was throwing rocks. Well,
it was raising rocks with his mind.
No, so when I say that, like, they're one of the environments that you're in the dojo.
Yeah.
These robots will come out of these portals and they'll start coming towards you. And there is some stone on the ground. You can use the force and throw it at them, or you can throw your saber. So there's a few things. And as the robots come, there's a couple places where you can use the force and flip a lever, and it would cause a machine to come on and it would kill the robot, that kind of thing, or smash it. So yes, there's some low tech stuff throwing rocks, or you can use your saber and all. There's a lot of options.
And start a Twitch stream.
I don't know about that, but man, it's fun. It is. I'm bringing it to Dragon Con. You got to try it.
More stuff for Dragon Con.
You're going to try this. You're going to try this.
I wouldn't be surprised if the gaming area had some of those available to try out.
They might, but you don't want to put that on your face after everybody's been wearing it. You know,
So he brings his germ polluted one.
well,
Okay.
one person's something else. 5 people, 10 people.
Here, Scott, try this.
Yeah.
Here, Harrison, try this. And now it's 6 other people. We'll bring some antiseptic wipes or something. All right, let's get
I got
into
some
our
baby wipes I used on it from time to time.
question of the week. What is the saddest on-screen death of all time?
Oh, we got some good answers too.
All right, Lone Guy's Night says HAL 9000 in 2001: A Space Odyssey. He wept for the silicon. You got any others you want? Why don't we alternate?
I was trying to make sure. Show all of them. There we go.
You didn't bring up the page yet.
No, it wasn't showing me all the comments. Anyway, so John Miller Jr. said Optimus Prime from the Transformers, which I think we referenced at the end of the last show.
Mm-hmm. Steve London says, in order of sadness and frustration and loss.
Yes.
Wash from Serenity. Han Solo, The Force Awakens. Bubba Blue, Forrest Gump. Is that Bubba's last name? I totally forgot that. Donna was asking the other day. She was calling him Bubba Gump. I said, no, that's the name of the company they formed.
Yeah.
Bubba Blue. Okay. Mufasa from The Lion King. Oh, he's got some good ones.
Yeah, he has some good ones. Man, Han Solo, I remember I wasn't crying or anything myself. I was like, oh man,
no!
I couldn't believe I was watching it. But there was a kid beside me dressed up as Han Solo with the vest and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And he was visibly crying. I was like, oh my gosh. Poor guy.
Together, Junior.
Yeah.
What else?
I'm not shaming him. I'm just like, I was kind of surprised they had that kind of reaction. Anyway, John Clifford says, sorry, spoilers, Wash and Serenity. So unexpected and jarring. Yes, it was. Hey, you know what? For those of you who don't know, when sometimes you'll hear us say Wash dies as a spoiler. And what happened was our buddy Evo Terra was podcasting in the room that Chuck is in right now.
History was made here again.
Yeah. So the movie for Serenity had just come out, and literally I had not seen it yet. I'm listening to this podcast.
I had seen it opening night, so that was hysterical.
Yeah, I mean, I saw it shortly thereafter. Anyway, he blurted out right on the podcast.
Spoiler alert! Wash dies.
I didn't think he said spoiler alert. Did he? If he did, it was right there. I mean, it was no time to.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter. It would. Yeah, either way. Yeah, Wash dies. We're like, everybody's like, what the worst? It's the worst spoiler ever. Anyway.
Part of the podcast lore. Yeah. Dean Jensen says Coral in Finding Nemo.
John Kratzer.
That's his mom. No. Yeah, his mom died.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Oh, right. Yeah, that was pretty bad. Yeah. Here you go.
What did John Kratzer? Clinton, the statute of limitations is up.
Yeah. John Kratzer said John Coffey from the Green Mile.
I would agree with that, and even sadder now that the actor is actually dead.
I had 5 comments too.
You did. Kyle Nishioka writes, first answer that came to mind was Wash in Serenity. I could probably come up with a better answer if I think more about it, but until then, I'll leave you with this. He's got a picture of Yoda as he died. He laid on his bed and died just before he fades away.
Yeah.
He says, once I became a parent, I finally understood the scene where Yoda gets so tired of answering Luke's question, he just dies.
Yeah. I'm out. Gary Lindros said the Enterprise from Star Trek 3, which I had not thought about that, but yes, that's actually a good one.
Good answer. Yeah, because the Enterprise is much a character as anyone else.
Well, they're standing there on the rock, looking up, watching it fall, just like really from the same perspective we are in the movie, watching the movie. And it's like, wow, that's just terrible.
What have I done? What you always do? Turn death into a chance for living. Brian Parker says, Brian Piccolo in Brian's song. That's 3 Brians in one little oval. You have exceeded your Brian limit for the day. Good day, sir.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh, Melissa Bartell says Seymour from Futurama. Oh my gosh, yes. That was tearjerker. Oh my gosh.
He's just sitting there in front of the store. Poor Seymour.
Yeah, just kind of wasted.
But was he really dead?
They
found the petrified Seymour.
I know they did. Well, he was a character still, but he was.
She had a whole bunch of them. Do more.
Anyway, so Marley and Me,
Yeah.
Lol and Star Trek Next Generation. That was a pretty good
Oh,
one
yep.
too. That's a good call. Leo McGarry in The West Wing, and though it was the last of a kind of a cheat, since the actor John Spencer died in real life. Yeah, I think that's all. Oh, we have one
Wow.
more. Dave Roth says Captain Vasily Borodin. I'll never say it right. But it was Sam Neill's character in The Hunt for Red October.
Wow. Way to bring down the show, everyone. Nice question, Craig.
Yeah, right.
Let's close that segment out and get on with something else. All right. Let's do the history thing. On this day in history for July 27th, 2022, this is the 208th day of the year in the Gregorian calendar. There are 157 days remaining in 2022. It was on this date in 1866 that the first permanent transatlantic telegraph cable was successfully completed, stretching from Valentia Island, Ireland, to Heart's Content, Newfoundland. And go read a story on that stuff. It's amazing what it took to build. It didn't last a whole long time because of what they used for materials.
Leaves and sticks. All right. So also today in 1921, researchers at the University of Toronto, led by biochemist Frederick Banting, proved that the hormone insulin regulates blood sugar.
Good idea for diabetics. 82 years ago today, the animated short A Wild Hare was released, introducing the character of Bugs Bunny.
That's right. An initial flight of de Havilland Comet. Havilland? No.
The de Havilland Comet.
De Havilland Comet.
You gotta watch more like Wings on the Discovery Channel, man.
I know, I should. The first jet-powered airliner was on this date in 1949.
Yeah, they had that's when they started learning about metal fatigue, because they made the windows pretty much square, like a window on your house.
Oh yeah.
And they were big.
Mm-hmm.
And then planes started crashing after a while.
Yeah, people would open them up and...
No, they wouldn't open them. July 27, 2005, after the incident during STS-114, NASA grounded the space shuttle, pending an investigation of the continuing problem with the shedding of foam insulation on the external fuel tank. Yikes.
And happy birthday goes out today to Swiss mathematician and academic Johann Bernoulli, born on this date in 1667.
Now, how do you know how to pronounce Bernoulli's name?
It's because of the Bernoulli box.
Right. He was actually not known for storage devices.
Yeah. And the Bernoulli box, for anybody who doesn't know, was a storage device back in the day. Kind of used like a
big floppy disk.
It's like a hybrid, almost like a tape backup with a disk thing, cartridge.
Something else that's fun is look up the Bernoulli effect. It has to do with low air pressure. Okay, English surveyor and astronomer Jeremiah Dixon was born 289 years ago today.
And Hans Fischer, a German chemist and academic Nobel Prize laureate, was born on the same date in 1881.
Getting back to that de Havilland Comet, the pilot and engineer, the man who founded the de Havilland Aircraft Company, Jeffrey de Havilland, was born 140 years ago today. They launched that plane on his birthday. That's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool. American radio engineer and inventor Benjamin Messner was born on this date in 1890.
American game designer and co-created Dungeons & Dragons, Gary Gygax, was born 84 years ago today.
And Malaysian surgeon and astronaut Sheikh Muzaffar Shakur. It was born on this date in 1972.
He's 50. Wow. People born in 72 are 50.
I know. I saw somebody on Facebook celebrating their 50th, and I'm like, 1972.
There was a picture of Skeletor saying, "In another 8 years, the 80s will be 50 years ago." And in the second frame, he's just walking away.
Yeah, right.
Also turning 46 today is English computer scientist and academic. What happened to the music?
The band quit.
I
Great.
guess.
Yeah, let's just finish it up. That's
All right. Wow. Well, that makes me worried about the other sound effects that we might be playing. Hang on. All right, it's out there. Okay, the band quit.
Right.
Listener
Well,
birthdays this
yeah.
week include July 27th, wife of Will the Computer Guy. Sean Farrell, host of the Adventures in Sci-Fi Publishing podcast, is on the 29th, as is John Kratzer. He had one of the comments in earlier. Brian Hunt, a.k.a. Zaphod Beeblebrox, is on the 30th, and two birthdays on the 31st of July. Well, actually, one is the wedding anniversary of Will the Computer Guy from 2007. He apparently wrote this in 2006 because it's 9 years. Time to update the blog. And Denise Inglis, Patreon member Denise, is also on the 31st. That's the way it was on this day in history for July 27th, 2022. If you want to get your name on the birthday calendar, Craig's going to put a link up there for all the viewers that haven't seen it yet. But
trying to get
if you're
there.
listening, it is chuckchat.com/birthday. You go fill out a simple form. Say who you are, when's your birthday, we'll give you a shout out at that time of the year. And if you didn't make it this year, if your birthday is somewhere in that July 27th to August 2nd range for this week, happy birthday to you. We wish you all the best. Okay, you ready for some news?
Yes.
We start out with some impending news. Let's see, do I have any impending news? Nah, we'll just go with this one.
I can do it.
Good news, everyone!
All right, the James Webb Space Telescope may have always kind of appropriate that Farnsworth does it. He's about as old as the universe.
Yeah.
James Webb Space Telescope may have seen or already found the oldest galaxy ever seen. Now, the reason that there's some uncertainty in this title that may have already found the oldest galaxy is because this study has not been peer reviewed yet. That's kind of the way scientific findings work. You can't just jump up and say, hey, I found Bigfoot. You got to have it peer reviewed. Okay.
Hey, I found Bigfoot.
The scientific method, test again. And the galaxy is known as GLASS, which is all uppercase. I'm not sure what it stands for. I'm sure I could make something up, but it won't be appropriate.
Right.
GLASS-Z or Z13. It goes back, what they believe is 300 million years after the Big Bang. And that's starting to get on that borderline of what you can actually see. And this totally makes sense now. You know that James Webb Space Telescope and it observes in the infrared spectrum. And what it was put out there for is to see things far, far, far away.
Right.
And as we all know, as objects move away from you, their light is, say it, Craig.
Dimmer?
No.
Older.
I'm going to give you a 50-50 here. Is it blue shifted or red shifted?
Oh, redshift.
You're right. You know how I remembered that as a kid?
How's that?
Tail lights on a car.
Oh, right.
If the car is moving away from you, the
That's
lights
pretty
are
good.
red.
Yeah.
So there you go. Simple mnemonic for that. That means every car you see, maybe its tail lights aren't really red.
Right.
Okay, something to think about.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's red shifted so much that it's moved into the infrared. What does James Webb observe? Infrared. Very good. So that's why you can see it. And then they have to take these pictures that were taken in infrared and shift them up so that we can actually see them on the screen as this little red blob on the screen and go, wow, that's a really old galaxy. So the other thing I thought was fascinating in here, we all know the universe is expanding.
Yep.
Remember, that light left that galaxy 13.4 billion years ago.
Yeah.
Since that time, the universe has continued to expand. And now that galaxy is approximately 33 billion light years away.
Yeah.
Whoa, I went, what?
Yeah.
Of course. I hadn't thought about that. It's like, I didn't realize that's how fast the universe was expanding, that it's pretty much doubled in size.
It's almost one of those things like when they tell you how fast the Earth is rotating, and you're like, well, I feel like I'm still.
Feel it. Right.
Yeah.
And then the Earth is moving around the sun, and the sun is moving through space, and that's a Monty Python song that we won't get into yet.
That's right.
The other thing that I thought was that blows my mind is, okay, if you're looking back in time, You're looking at the early universe. Shouldn't and it was much smaller. Shouldn't all the galaxies like be clustered together, like closer?
Yeah, I'm not sure how
But
that
it must
actually.
it what actually happened is the universe was already pretty magnificently large by 300 million years after
Oh
the
yeah,
Big Bang.
yeah.
So you're not going to see, this muffin-sized universe.
Muffin. There's a big ding, and it's ready to come out of the oven.
Right. Oh, got to let it rise some more for another 4 billion years.
That's right.
So any comments on this? I think it's pretty cool.
No, it is pretty cool. It's just like you mentioned, when I was reading through this, it was just mind blowing how vast everything is and how long it takes for things to travel, including light.
Yeah.
To go that far, and then you got movement too, just like you mentioned. Yeah, it was blowing my mind.
Now think about this, kids. The light you see from the sun is already 8.5 minutes old.
That's right.
So if the sun were to go just suddenly burn out, you wouldn't even know it for 8.5 minutes. That's pretty amazing.
Yeah, it'd be a. I'm glad it's not going to happen for a while. Not while we're here.
It's going to get big. It's going to swell up and burn up the earth. And yeah, it's going to be a great old time in about 5 billion years, but I won't be around. So,
Yeah.
Although the way things are going with the temperatures in the US, I think it's already burning up.
My luck, I'll become immortal, and I can't. I'm like, yay! Oh.
Well, there was an interesting. Jonathan Strickland had a podcast, a replay of one of his classic episodes on Friday. It was a part 2 where he's talking with. Was it Ben? I can't remember. It was another one of the podcasters in his network about immortality and being digitally preserved and
backed up.
Everything from who has the rights to yourself. Is it the software company? Is it the people who own the servers? If you were to live forever, do you start caring about things after you die a little bit more? What happens to things you say, yeah, I'll get to that someday? Well, you have a lot of somedays left to deal with. So it was a very interesting discussion on that standpoint.
I would think, just as I've gotten a little older now, just the short period of time I've been on this earth.
Yeah.
At this point, there's certain things I don't care about that I did before. So I can imagine if you lived longer, the list of things you care about will probably whittle down.
Well, it depends if I were to live in a corporeal form or a digital form. If I were to live in a corporeal form, I could live even, say, to the age of 200. I'd be interested in doing things that I normally wouldn't. Like, maybe I will have time to learn to play the piano properly.
Yeah.
Or paint or.
Yeah, no, I was just thinking like, you get a better perspective on what's important and what's not. And I think if you lived that long, that list of what's important will be shorter. You can be like, these other things don't matter as much, Anyway.
Yep. Anyway, speaking about what's important, that's a good segue. Lego has introduced the Atari 2600 has officially been announced for Atari's 50th anniversary.
Yes, and this is not an actual working Atari
is it?
2600. I don't know.
Or is it not?
It is not.
One of the pictures has the back, and it has a power plug and an audio plug. It's got jacks on the back. Is that just for looks?
I think that's just with the joysticks and stuff. Yes, it's just for looks.
It didn't say one way or the other, and I was horribly confused.
Yeah, it didn't. But I think I saw another article, the same thing, and it said not working. Okay. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
But it has a little diorama, but you can, once you put it all together, you can slide the top of the graded console down, and it shows a little diorama of like somebody's bedroom from the 80s. Yeah, or late 70s.
Complete with olive green shag carpet. I mean, it's straight out of Stranger Things.
And by shag carpet, they're like the little Lego pieces.
Lego pegs,
yeah, olive colored. There's what's really cool is this not only has that little diorama, but it has multiple little builds as well.
From the game.
Yeah, the cartridges fold out into little pieces that you can build like asteroids, and it has the ship from the Asteroids game, and then there's Centipede, has a centipede, and Adventure has the castle, which is cool. I like that just by itself.
I think the adventure should have the duck.
Or the little dragon.
Yeah, that's
know.
the duck.
Oh yeah, of course.
When you,
But yeah, this is really cool. I think it's nice, but I think it's a little expensive. Wasn't it like
yeah,
$270?
209 pounds, which yeah, it's a little expensive for me to go. I'm not that much of an avid. Okay, I'm not an avid Lego builder at all. But
Oh.
hey, if you are and you want to have a piece of Americana from the 1980s, there you go.
Yeah.
That means if they're celebrating the
Oh.
50th, the 2600 did not
Hey.
come out in 72, did it?
The 2600?
Yeah.
No, it was late 70s, early
Yeah,
80s.
why are they celebrating? Oh, Atari's 50th, not the 2600.
Right. Yes. that's
Atari's
right.
50th anniversary. Okay.
by the
Yes.
way,
Nolan
click on-
Bushnell founded Atari in 1972. You're right.
Can you share the picture? That one picture of the diorama, the close-up picture?
Yep. Let me do a quick share
I just noticed something on here I think you might find interesting.
screen. That one.
All right. So scroll down a little bit, and there's a picture of the diorama. Up,
Where?
right there. Okay,
Oh, one of these little ones?
Yeah, click on that one.
Yeah.
All right, look to the right of the diorama. There's a phone on the wall.
Oh my gosh, the phone is like a little large. What are these gray things on the bottom? Little toy cars?
I'm not sure. Skates.
Oh, roller skates, of course.
Yeah, roller skates. There you go.
And what's he got? A can of Coke. He's got a little Robo Lego guy behind him. There's some detail in here.
No, he's got there's the asteroids. That's the cover for the asteroids cartridge. There's a Indiana Jones looking thing in a jam box.
Johnny Thunder.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah,
pretty cool.
The other ones. There's the cartridges actually fit in the cartridge slot.
Yes, they do.
There's the centipede. A little case.
Yeah, Steve got the little.
That's the picture I was
cartridge
talking about. It looked like they were actually working jacks, but no.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, back to us.
Yes.
Well, that'll be fun. If anybody out there who's listening gets one, certainly call us up.
Send us
Send
pictures.
us some pictures of yours. Yeah. See where you put your phone.
Yeah, I'll put it on the other side. That's right.
All right. Our third news story is all about a new distance record for quantum entanglement. Scientists have connected two atoms across 20 miles or 33 kilometers.
Yeah, and they use cups and a string. Really
So
long string.
quantum entanglement, for those that don't know, is when you get two, I believe it's the electrons, they're linked over distance. So when you observe the state of the electron, it's exactly the same as its entangled partner. And if you affect the electron, the corresponding one changes immediately. Why should we care? Well, this could lead to a newer, faster internet.
Yeah, I was thinking we can finally get that lag away from our Zoom calls.
Well, that wouldn't be any fun. I'm sure your cable provider, we'll get that about the time I finally get fiber installed.
Right, yeah.
And the ISP will just jack up the rate even more.
No, thank you. I have quantum entanglement in the house now.
I was starting to think of how you would do this and what you would need, because theoretically you would only really need one atom to be entangled with whatever's on a server, for example, right? Because if they change it, yours changes automatically. You can read that state really, really, really fast.
Mm-hmm.
So you'd have to, get this new cable modem, if you will. Yeah. You wouldn't even need a cable, except to your own network. You'd have to somehow synchronize the electrons or atoms between those two. And then once you're entangled, it's like, I couldn't believe I was like trying to engineer this based off of this.
Yeah. So great. We got a faster internet. We can get to TikTok faster. Wonderful.
More cat videos.
Yeah.
But it'd be interesting. This seems like science fiction, but I'll bet before our days are up, Craig, that we'll see some actual manifestation of quantum computing and now maybe quantum internet.
Transporters.
No, because in order to do that, you would have to destroy the atom on the other end, and I don't really want to be destroyed.
Yeah, well, that goes
them
against the whole
destroyed.
immortal thing, doesn't it?
Now, if you made duplicates, then we're talking. Because then,
I wonder if you had a genie and you made a wish, and he imparted that wish on you, and you got transported. That means you were destroyed, and you were on the other side. Do you get the remaining 2 wishes?
No, because he's not your genie anymore. You just toasted the whole deal.
His owner
hey, that other guy that just got destroyed, he was my master, not
right.
you.
See, I'm an idea guy. I come up with stuff like this.
All right, let's come up. That's how weird things happen. That's how I make things happen at our conference. Weird ideas.
Yep.
Let's do a quick shout out to our patrons.
All right.
We are back to 27, Craig. 27 people think this show is worthy enough to cough up a buck or two per episode and keep us going. Thank you.
We're growing.
Well, we reclaimed an old one. Yes, we are growing. And some of the people who are already subscribers upgraded. Now I'm starting to sound like Julie when she was 3 years old trick-or-treating. Can you believe it? Some people are giving us 3 or 4 pieces of candy.
Whoa. I want somebody to come along and give me the full-size Snicker bars.
Thank you to Alexis Duran, Amber Elstad, Amy Bowen, Avner Braverman. We are not using this money to buy full-size Snicker bars.
No. You know when you go trick-or-treating?
Yes, I know. Thank you, Ben Vaughn, Brian Brown. You're just sick of the mini candies.
Yeah, fun size is not fun.
Thank you, Chris Martinez. Do you want to be the poor sap who has to go buy like 50 full-size candy bars to give out to some ungrateful kids? No.
Hey, that's a quick way to get your bowl stolen, from the front yard.
Chris MC, Dandy Man Coyer. Thank you, Dean Jensen. This is the most interrupt-driven patron list we've had yet. Denise Inglis. We read her comment, or it's her birthday. Happy birthday, Denise. Gary Lindros, John Clifford, John Noble, Yorga Rowan, Crazy Joe Adventures. We're going to have to buy more credit cards this year, Craig.
Yeah.
A problem I am willing to step up to. No, not credit card. Postcards. We're going to need a bigger credit card. That's what we need. Yeah. Kyle Nishioka, Leon, Mark Kilfoyle, Matt Baum, Mike Wills. Thank you, Saturday Morning Media, Stephen Weshy, Steve Therian, Steve Cody, Steve London, and Tim Cook, CEO of Apple. Listens and contributes, I think. We're going to go with that.
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody. You can be a patron, because Craig's going to put that on the screen next, by going over to patreon.com/Technorama podcast. And for as little as $1 a show, or upgrade your existing membership, we greatly appreciate that as well.
Oh, you forgot something.
What did I forgot?
We didn't give a shout out to people who are watching.
Oh, you're right. I just kind of went from stories to the next big block. We'll do that next. We'll do that next. We'll wrap that up. So thank you to that. Technorama, patreon.com/Technorama podcast. Quick shout out to the chat room. Who do we have loitering around tonight?
We got Comedy Forecast over on YouTube. So remember, if you would prefer to watch us there, we do broadcast out live.
Facebook or YouTube. Yes. Set your alerts like good old, YouTube lets you do.
Shout out. We got John Miller Jr., of course, our buddy Clinton Alvord, Mike Robeson is in there.
Eric Miller.
And Gary Lindros popped in. I guess he's still there.
And StreamYard. Look, StreamYard had a comment.
Yeah, thanks, StreamYard. That's right.
There's like this demo comment you get whenever you log in.
That's right. Thanks, Duck.
So if you want to be part of that crowd, join us Sunday nights at 9:30 Eastern time. We'd love to see you there. Include your comments in our show. Snarky, behave yourself, of course.
Hey, we don't do snark around here.
This show is built on snark. We should have just called it Snark.
Yeah.
Snarkorama.
Snark Industries. Like
people would be looking for Marvel information at that point.
Right.
Or Mirror Universe Marvel, whatever you call it. Bizarro.
That's our comment here.
That reminds me. I changed all the names of my Bluetooth devices. I have like $ curly brackets earbuds.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
$ curly bracket watch.
Yeah.
$ curly bracket other earbuds.
It's like a variable floating around in there.
Like somebody didn't finish the program.
Yeah. That's pretty funny.
I just want to see somebody's face light up when they're like on an airplane and they're scanning going,
Yeah. You know what?
Curly bracket earbuds.
I'm gonna give you some credit, a little bit of credit here. There's some things that you do with your phone to customize it a little bit more than even I do sometimes. And I'm like, oh, that's actually kind of creative. So I started looking for ways to, I don't know, change things up on the phone. I know you keep stickers on the back of your phone from time to time. But not just that, but
I got a new phone, so I had to put my new sticker on there, and this is the closest one I found.
Whose phone is this?
Hey, some guy with curly hair and glasses and a bow tie.
Yeah. So yeah, same things like renaming the your devices and stuff like that. So anyway, I just want to give you a little credit for there. Makes me think about, hey, how can I make this mine?
Hey, we've been watching some TV and movies and whatnot, so let's do the remote stuff. Okay, I heard the harp strings that time.
You're just
I was listening for it. I was listening for it. Yeah. You got to really be listening for it because the horns kind of overpower them. Bad mix, whoever the audio engineer was on that.
Right.
Okay. I'll go first, then you go, and then I'll go again because we have 3 of them here.
Sure. Go ahead.
I have been, as I get older, I enjoy history more.
Mm-hmm.
And even mythological history, if you will.
Okay.
So I found a show on Amazon called Great Greek Myths. And it goes all the way from the beginning with chaos. And then from chaos came Gaia. And Gaia is, the Mother Earth. And the children she bore and how they did that. Everybody's in here. The whole pantheon. Mm-hmm. Zeus and Hermes, and I mean, it's all over the place. Where did Athena come from? Some of these stories start to sound, border on the ridiculous. Like, Zeus, man, he was like I wouldn't say he's a predator, but he had more affairs. Yeah. And Hera, his wife, is supposed to be the goddess of marriage.
Yeah,
she clearly fell down on the job.
Well, you see in Thor, Love and Thunder, you see where he was at, and then he was like, who's ready for an orgy?
Right. That's pretty much his hallmark. He was the father of a lot of demigods as well.
Yes.
Interesting story. I mean, and sometimes they'll tie it in at the end with, this is, they're very much human in nature. They get angry, they have vengeance, they have sex all the time. Mm-hmm. It's very intriguing, but they'll tie it in and they'll say, from this we get the word blah 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 blah. So Hermes, the messenger god, Aphrodite, they got together and they had. As soon as they said both names, I went, oh, I can see where this is going. They had a child that was half male, half female, from which we get the name Hermaphrodite.
Yep.
Exactly. So it's like, oh, that's where that came from. Or, they take it. A lot of times the Greeks would tie their mythology into history. Like this happened and that happened. And thus started the Trojan War.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. If that's the way you believe the Trojan War started was, but it's fascinating stuff. And just to see the lineage and who affected what. And a lot of these storylines cross each other. I'm on season 1. There's like 22 episodes and I'm up to about 15. They're short.
I thought you were going to say there were 22 seasons.
No, there's 3 or 4 seasons.
Right.
But I'm going to stick with all of them. So it's called Great Greek Myths. Little short stories. A lot of it's animated. So they do have artwork. If you have children around, cover their eyes. There's plenty of women's breasts on this show, whether
Oh,
in
okay.
statues, paintings. Yeah, now Craig's on board.
I'll put it on my list.
Amazon Prime Video is where you'll find that.
All right.
What have you been watching?
This last week, I watched. Sometimes I like a sports movie. Like Rudy and stuff like that. This one I watched was Hustle with Adam Sandler. It came out in May, or did it come out in May? In June. It came out early June. It's on Netflix, and then I'll read you the little synopsis. It says, after a down on his luck basketball scout discovers an extraordinary player abroad, he brings the phenom back to the U.S. without his team's approval. And I thought that it was a really good movie. I enjoyed it. I like Adam Sandler. Some, when he's got his goofy movies, sometimes it can go a little too overboard, but this wasn't a goofy movie. I like the guy that he found when he was overseas, and the whole relationship between them, and how he got his team. He had a beef with the new owner, and the new owner was pushing back on him for bringing these scouts, because I want a real scout. I want somebody who can get us a championship. So Adam Sandler's trying to find this guy. Anyway, long story, but it was really good. The relationships were great. So I recommend it. It's Amazon. I'm sorry, it was on Netflix. Excuse me.
Is it a movie or a series?
It's a movie. Just a movie.
Okay.
Yeah. So he gets him. He trains the guy and so on and so forth. So you go check it out.
Last one I've got is an older show. I think it was 2001, 2002-ish, called Alias.
Yes, I never watched it, but I've seen it around.
It's mildly interesting. Some of it's kind of predictable.
Mm-hmm.
Basis of the story, and they tell you this at the beginning of every show, so I'm not ruining it except for episode 1. This girl is going through college. She's kind of feeling like her life is not on the track she wants, and she gets recruited by the CIA. She goes to the office, and she becomes trained to be an agent. Then she finds out from her father, who also works at this office, that that's not the CIA. It's supposed to be like this covert operation, black ops site called SD6.
Mm-hmm.
And then you find out there's more SD, 4 and 12 and 14 and 13 and whatnot around the world. Well, then she goes to the CIA and says, I'd like to help take down SD6, because they're actually the enemy. They're selling weapons and drugs and all this other stuff. So she's going out on missions, and she's got to report to CIA. So she's being a double agent, as is her father, because her father brought her into this. And there's some interesting twists and turns. Donna and I are on, I think we're about halfway through season 2. Maybe we're all the way through season 2. I can't remember where we left off, because it's been a few weeks.
Yeah.
But interesting show. I thought it bore a lot of resemblance to The Blacklist with James Spader.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
That's on Netflix. And we've talked about that in the past. We finished up that series a while ago. There are some strong similarities between Elizabeth Keene on Blacklist and I'm drawing a blank, James Spader's main character from that show. Especially when I can't ruin it, because it's towards the end of season 1. A new character comes in that is very closely like, this character turns themselves into the CIA. Oh, that's just what the other guy did. So it's like Blacklist took the story and extended it. And I actually think the Blacklist story is a better one from that standpoint.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a lot of, you go, oh, that rings true. Okay. So it must've been inspired by Alias. So we're going through it. I wouldn't put it high on my watch list, but it's a fun rewatch, especially if you want to see like old phone technology and old computer technology.
Right.
And before they had technical consultants, they're reading off things like, okay, the IP address is 259. I'm like, no, it's not. No, it's not.
I know. Yeah. Which,
like,
by the way, that
right there.
By the way, that kind of dovetails into our question of the week.
Yeah, that's why I threw that one out there. Like they've gotten better.
Yeah,
but you occasionally still see, there's lots of Unix like LS listings, directory listings on the screens when you're looking at these things, or
Why is he looking at the user bin folder?
Be on a PC, but you've got this X Windows motif showing Unix commands. Going, what are you trying to do here? Confuse the people?
That's right.
I forgot I think it was Office Space, where he's sitting at a PC and there's an old Mac interface on that movie. Like, I'm going, what happened here? So, Alias is pretty good on Hulu.
Okay.
So it's a fun rewatch if you haven't seen it before. Spy, thriller, entertainment, good stuff. Good stuff.
All right. Cool.
All right, into the Geek Library real quick.
Yes.
Oh, we're not allowed to read the title of this one from Reddit.
No.
We lose our clean rating.
Yeah, but I thought this was funny because this is a video, not demonstrating, but reading the book of general relativity, for babies.
Babies.
And I was watching, I was like, actually, it broke it down pretty nice. And it's easy to understand the theory of general relativity.
I like the comments on here. Not going to lie. I feel this kid's book taught me more than the entire K through 12 public school education I had in America.
Yeah, I'm sure. And then the next comment right below that, I guarantee it did.
Because it's longer than a 3-minute record.
Yeah, but it is pretty cool. I like that little illustration. It's very simple. I could see where a kid could understand that. So I did.
My kid had general relativity figured out before the age of 5.
That's right. That relativity that they knew how to play two forces against each other, your mom and dad.
I've told this story before. We'd go into work and we had an elevator that had a glass front on it that looked over the lobby, and then we take the elevator down to the basement. And when we take the elevator down, and Julie would say, up, up, up. I'm like, what is wrong with my child? She's got no sense of direction. And then we get leave, and we'd be going up in the elevator. She'd say, down, down, down. Mm-hmm. She was watching the wall, the tiles on the bricks on the wall appear to be going down as you go up. Everything's relative.
Yeah, right.
She figured it out.
That's right. Yeah.
Doing binary arithmetic and Boolean algebra at the age of 7. And here she is, a PhD these days.
Dr. Julie.
Dr. Julie. Yep.
Oh, no, she's not Tomas anymore.
Yes, she is. She kept her name because she already had published papers. Yep. She kept her name.
We're good. Good for her.
Yep. The kids probably won't have that as a last name, but if and when. I think that's it. Geek Library was the end. What's our question of the week we're going to leave them with?
Our question of the week is...
Here, you want some reverb on that? Do it again.
Sure. All right, ready? Our question of the week is... What's something... Here you go. What's something that always wrongly depicted in movies and TV shows?
Like IP addresses?
Yeah. Security. Network security.
The security or lack thereof on the Enterprise.
I was going to say, I love Star Trek, but I'm pretty sure that space travel is wrongly depicted.
Yeah. They've got a security officer. Apparently, they don't care about the cybersecurity at all.
Do the security override. And there's always a
Captain, it's another random ship flying by, and they just downloaded our entire database.
That's right.
We don't even know them. They're not even part of the show. They just download. It's like, well, you can download the whole Federation database from any space station anyway. Yeah. So what's the point?
No kidding. So
we want
them. Question.
It's an open architecture. We want them to learn about us, including, the shield codes for the ship. Apparently.
Why did you we just give you a thumb drive here. Yeah, that's right. Why do you want to download it?
So is that it?
That's it. Let's wrap it up.
Jurassic Park is the worst for mixed computer references.
Oh, I thought I had the chat showing.
This is Unix. I know this.
There you go.
You like that?
Yeah.
Hey, they put SGI on the screen instead of, making SGI computers build the screen. So that's our question of the week. What's something that's always wrongly depicted in the movies and TV shows? We'll have that on social media next weekend and read out some of the answers we get. Should be interesting. Should be fun. That brings us to, yes.
And by the way, time marches on. Got 2 things coming up.
Dragon Con.
well, that wasn't the first thing I was going to say, but yes, we got Dragon Con coming up Labor Day weekend. So if you're going to be in the Atlanta area or even at Dragon Con, let us know. We'll
Or
hook
even,
up
yeah,
and we'll.
come on, watch the Saturday morning parade.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say watch our social media stuff. We'll post when we're going to be. We'll be. What or do you know? We know the times right now, don't we?
I don't know the Trek track yet, but we do
Okay.
know that we're going to have a karaoke party
Mhm.
Saturday night at 10,
Okay.
and Technorama Comedy Forecast and Friends. Whew, said that all in one breath.
Yeah.
Sunday, 2:30.
Okay.
So we know
We'll post
two
those
of
up.
the three main events. Well, and we know when the parade is, so we
Yeah.
know a lot of that stuff.
So we'll post all that up on our Facebook page and Twitter and all that. And the other thing is starting August 1st, not October. August 1st is the Dog Days of Podcasting, which I kind of put together. It's at the dogdaysofpodcasting.com. And if you're interested in signing up, you can do so, and you can podcast once a day for 30 days. That's the challenge. And it doesn't have to be a long podcast. It doesn't have to be scripted or anything crazy. You can just get on there and talk about whatever. So
That starts in 1 week. I got to get to work.
Starts in 1 week. So go register. You have to set up an account, and then you can put your feed in, which I got to tell you, I rewrote this app, the app I use to manage the whole Dog Days of Podcasting.
Yes.
And it's all automated now. I don't have to go edit my cron job to turn it on. it just goes by
Flip
the date.
switch.
Yeah, flip. No, I don't even. It's automatic. I just put the dates in.
What if you want to do an override?
I go in and change the date.
Ah,
So just change the dates. So anyway, that's there. So, or you don't have to participate as a podcaster. You can also participate as a listener. So if you want to go subscribe and listen to all the wonderful podcasts that get created out of this, I invite you to do so over at dogdaysofpodcasting.com. I don't own the dogdaysofpodcasting.com.
a lot of people have started podcasting because of the Dog Days of Podcasting.
Really? I wasn't aware of that.
I think that inspired Amy Bowen to become a podcaster.
Oh, I see. Okay. Wow. Huh. Well, that's very cool. I didn't realize that.
She can clarify us if it's wrong. All right,
Yeah.
let's move on to the ending. We're going to send these people.
We'll just assume that's the case and not ask.
Like most things that we say on this
Yeah.
show. Just keep talking until someone says you're wrong.
That's right.
Then they send in a voicemail.
That's another piece of the recipe of my career.
Everything's an accident until it's not.
That's right.
A collection of bad decisions.
Right.
Call us on the listener line at 707-530-2428. Just like we heard earlier from Kurt? No, Fritz. Fritz from Germany. Craig, you got to put the contact information on the banner.
Oh, yeah.
707-530-2428. We'd love to hear from you, no matter where you are. You might have to put a +1 in front of that number, but there you have it. Also, we know he was a listener, not just some random caller, because he gave the call sign of 101.
That's right.
At first, I thought this is just a junk mail he pulled off of some screenshot.
Yeah.
Technorama at chuckchat.com is the email. Till next time, everybody, stay safe. Craig, give me a binary high five.
All right. 101. Thank you.
There we are. Audio recording is concluded. We are going to shut down the live stream and begin to record our Patreon show for all of our Patreon members. So thank you, everybody, for joining us. It's been fun hanging out. Tell your friends. We'll hang out again next Sunday at 9:30 Eastern time.
Later.
Ready to say goodbye, Craig?
Yeah.
Yep. There's the closing comment.
Look at there. 101. There you go.
Okay. Take care.
All right.
See you soon.
Night,
Bye.
y'all.